Good morning, everyone who is already here. We'll be starting shortly. Good morning, everybody. We're going to give things just a few more minutes, and we'll be getting started in about 3 minutes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fall Virtual University Transfer Fair. This morning, we're going to begin with UNC Greensboro. I'd like to introduce Melissa Garrison. She is the admissions counselor and transfer specialist, and will be doing a presentation for us today. After the presentation, we're going to have some time for questions. So please feel free throughout the presentation, if something comes up that you would like to ask, pop it into the chat. And at the end of the presentation, we'll go through the questions and do a Q&A. So welcome, Melissa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all at Wake Tech hosting this and organizing it. And welcome to the students watching. I know this is a busy time of year and you're balancing your academics and jobs and many different things. So I know at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, this may be a hard place to be with everything you've got going on, but you have taken the time to learn a little bit more about UNC Greensboro. And I thank you for that. Again, my name is Melissa. For over way too many years, I have helped students transfer smoothly and successfully to UNCG. We had over 1,600 join us this fall. So you would be part of a community at UNC Greensboro with folks transferring in just like you. And I really enjoy helping students find their way there to us. And I do hope that I can help you with any questions that you might have. I want to introduce you to UNCG's campus with a very short video. I know some of you may not have visited us before, but we're, as you can see from this photo, right in the heart of Greensboro, located centrally in North Carolina. And this will kind of give you a feel for campus.
This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of change makers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
Find your way here. That's something we say a lot at UNC Greensboro. We're part of a community of students that come from all different backgrounds, rural communities, large cities. They all find their way to UNCG and support each other in a common mission of living and learning together. I know it's been a challenging year and a half with the pandemic, but at UNCG, our students masked up and we stayed and maintained residential living. We did not send our students home, and we have been open. So I think you'll find, if you join us at UNCG, you're going to find a very supportive community, a community that cares for each other at a top-notch institution that's large enough to offer you many different major offerings and opportunities, but small enough that you're not going to feel lost. You're going to find your place. And our place as a trendsetter and unique, we have a unique place in history. We were founded in 1891 as North Carolina's College for Women. So our mission in itself to begin with was very unique and trend-setting, and then later became one of 3 original UNC system institutions, joining North Carolina, UNC at Chapel Hill, and North Carolina State University to form the University of North Carolina system. Flash forward to today, we have almost 20,000 students. Of course, we are now co-ed, so don't worry, guys. And we're consistently rated among the top colleges in the US. Many rankings as far as our independent majors, but we're always excited about our #1 ranking in social mobility in the state of North Carolina and also in the top nationally. As I mentioned earlier, we have over 175 different degree programs. Now, I don't have the time frame here to talk about all of these, but I hope you know that you can go to our website for more information on every one of these programs. And as transfer students, you're already getting a great foundation of general courses at Wake Tech. So you're going to have a wonderful foundation transferring into UNCG. Some of you may know exactly what you want to pursue, some of you may not, so there's some majors of discovery here as well. But we divide our academics up into these colleges and schools. The Bryan School of Business and Economics is AACSB accredited in both accounting and business. Less than 1% of business schools worldwide hold that accreditation in both areas. It's got your standard business degrees you might be familiar with, although you might be interested in consumer apparel retail studies. It's a fashion and apparel design program that's top ranked in the South, in the top 5. Lots of things to explore in the Bryan School. They're always developing real world problem solvers in their business classrooms. And if you're interested in an online only major, we now offer accounting, business administration, entrepreneurship, finance, supply chain management, and tourism and hospitality online. So if you don't want to make the drive over, you do have that option. We also have the College of Visual and Performing Arts. That is a fantastic department offering a comprehensive background in art, music, dance, drama, theater, studio art. One unique major you may not have thought of is art administration. It's very unique for the state of North Carolina, and it gives students who are interested in the arts a chance to learn the business side as well. But if you're like me and you're not as talented in the arts, you're going to benefit from the cultural environment you're going to experience at UNC Greensboro. If you can't find an art exhibit in the Weatherspoon Art Museum, which is on our campus, a dance production, a theater event to attend, you're really not looking hard. So even if you're not involved in one of these majors, you're going to benefit from it. We also have a large school of health and human sciences. Kinesiology seems to be the largest major and very popular in that department. They prepare students to be exercise sports science folks, as well as prepare them to apply for physical therapy doctorate. We also have very strong programs in nutrition, of course, and majors you might not have thought of, like peace and conflict studies, public health education, which also has an online option, social work, and speech pathology and audiology. You'll see that School of Nursing there, of course, in the bottom. Brand new multi-million-dollar School of Nursing facility opened last year, top-notch, offering the Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, and now we have an online program, online RN to BSN. College of Arts and Sciences is the largest college and school at UNCG, encompasses many majors you're probably familiar with, the traditional English, history, mathematics, biology. But interior architecture you may not have thought of. It's one of the few programs in North Carolina that prepares students in the only Bachelor's of Fine Arts in interior architecture that allows students to really have the studio time to perfect their craft. If you're interested in teaching, UNCG has a very comprehensive school of education. They will license you in elementary ed, also a special dual licensure in elementary and special ed. Middle grades also, of course, will license you to teach some areas of high school, special ed, and then we have one of the few professions in deafness where you can be licensed to teach deaf ed K through 12 or be prepared to be an interpreter in interpreter preparation. Now, these pre-professional programs are not necessarily, they're not majors, okay? We understand that students will wish to pursue graduate work beyond their bachelor's degree. So if you have a thought of going on to medical school or law school, you can indicate that interest on your application, and we will make sure that we place you with an advisor who is familiar with the requirements and how best to prepare to be competitive to apply to graduate school. So you will get that additional advising. So for example, if you're interested in law school, you can major in really any area of study, but your pre-law advisor will help you in planning to take courses and to prepare yourself to be competitive to apply for law school. Same in all these other areas you see listed. One of the things that makes UNCG so fun to be a part of is that our Spartans come from a little bit of everywhere, 78 countries and 46 states. It doesn't matter how you slice it, we're about the most diverse campus in the UNC system, located centrally. We're about 77 miles from you all in Raleigh at Wake Tech, halfway between the mountains and the beach, and a very convenient corridor between Washington and Atlanta. So it's a fantastic place to be in a really thriving small city in North Carolina, which is fun to call home. And like I said, we do enjoy being in Greensboro because, quite frankly, it's just a city designed for college students. Believe it or not, 45,000 college students from 4 different schools are within a mile of us. Got to remember, we're surrounded by North Carolina A&T State University, Greensboro College, Bennett College, Guilford College. So it's just a great hub for students. You'll find lots of activities, lots of trails and greenways. It is still green in Greensboro, which is always fun. And what this also means for you is it's one of the top 10 up and coming cities for jobs, because that's very key as part of your education, is preparing you for that next step and what's beyond UNC Greensboro. We want you to find your home away from home. I know when I opened, I said I've been working with transfer students many years. This is actually my 21st year at UNCG. So I do warn you, if you find your way to us, you might make a home and not leave. But there are many different opportunities to be involved with clubs and organizations. I said you're going to find folks at UNCG that are different, but you're also going to find folks with like interests. So over 350 clubs and organizations with fraternities and sororities, religious-based clubs, club sports teams, professional organizations. Service-oriented clubs are huge at UNCG. Our motto is service, so you'll see students very involved in that. And of course, performing arts clubs. I always strongly encourage transfer students to please get involved in at least one thing out of the side of the classroom, because it really helps connect you. We do have a transfer student union that you can take a part of, and a transfer student honor society. But anything that you feel like you would like to connect with in these clubs and organizations, we can help you. I do want you to come see campus, because that is the most important thing you can do, is to put your feet on the ground and see how you feel as you stroll around campus. But I want to show you, this is part of the campus that is growing. You'll see lots of different grocery stores and nice places to eat for students. There's a tunnel where you can access this part of campus, but it also houses our Kaplan Wellness Center. And that center is really key to us because it helps with students' wellness mentally and physically. So you would have your options to work out there, take advantage of the multiple pools, climb the climbing wall, use some of the indoor courts, basketball courts, indoor tracks, any of the weight room facilities, but also there are things like yoga and UNCG Outdoors. So if you want to get off campus and find a kayak and go whitewater rafting, you have that ability to go with UNCG Outdoors, where you can rent reasonable priced equipment and go with a group. But I always tell students, when you go to college, you're paying tuition and fees. So always take advantage of these extra things that we offer as part of your college experience. Again, we are the Spartans, NCAA Division I. We play our basketball games in Greensboro Coliseum, which is a whole lot of fun to join in and cheer. Our soccer is what our homecoming is focused around, but you can see these are our NCAA teams. And you know, with your student ID, you just go to the game for free. So I always encourage students to be part of the cheering section, because it's a whole lot of fun to participate. Academics, of course, are at the heart of UNCG's mission. We're known for academic excellence, and I think what makes us unique in compared to other institutions is that we will have smaller class sizes for you. As I said, you are getting a bulk of your wonderful general classes taken care of at Wake Tech. So when you transfer in, you'll probably be starting on smaller class sizes in your major as well. We do place an emphasis on senior faculty instruction, fewer teaching assistants. So you're going to be taught by professors who've done the research and led in the field. You will also have the chance to do undergraduate research and be mentored by these faculty. We don't ask you to wait to graduate school to pursue those things. UNCG does put out a research magazine that I highly recommend you take a look at, as students are doing some fantastic research as undergraduates. As I mentioned earlier, our Bryan School, especially in business, does make sure that our students have real-world projects. We work with local companies in the area like Volvo Group and Fresh Market to make sure our students are tackling real-world problems so that when they graduate, they'll be able to be successful in their careers as well. And of course, we want to make sure that you find your way beyond UNCG to a profession that you find beneficial for you. And so we do offer a career and professional development office. That is key. Like I said, you're well connected in Greensboro with lots of large companies that you can intern. And I always tell students when they transfer, don't wait until you're about to graduate to seek them out, because our career and professional development office can help you with resume writing skills, interviewing skills. They have a tool called Handshake that helps you network. They can help place you in internships. We'll get you prepared, and we have the resources. All college comes with a cost, but I think if you look at this chart, you can see it's very hard to beat the value of a UNCG degree. I'm guessing a lot of you are in-state, so annual tuition and fees is $7,492. That's annual, that's the year. If you wish to live on campus, transfers are welcome to do so, but they are not required to live on campus. That would add $5,766. And then also the meal plan is optional. Always, 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 always file the FAFSA. UNCG awarded $70 million in financial aid for fall 2021. So always file the FAFSA. It has opened. This is October. UNCG's school code is 002976. File that FAFSA, get it in early, because you never know what aid you might be eligible for. Now, how can you join us? Our transfer criteria. We're going to look for the completion of at least 24 hours of college credit. How courses transfer? Courses transfer that are C or higher, and we will take a maximum of 64 hours from Wake Tech. If you're working in an AA or AS program, one of the college transfer programs, when you finish that degree, it's going to waive your general ed requirements. So what that means is we don't focus on what type of literature class you had or what type of fine arts class you have. You have an associate in arts or an associate in science degree from Wake Tech. So that waives those general requirements, except for foreign language, if that's required by your major, and you move on to major coursework. If you've also taken courses at a four-year institution, the majority of those courses will transfer. Of course, if you're taking classes at Wake Tech that are part of the AA or AS, they do transfer. If they're technical coursework, we need to take a look at that. But we do have a website that will show you every course that will transfer. I can also help you generally off the top of my head figure that out as well. And remember that UNCG admits to the university and not to any particular major. So when you apply to UNCG, I'm glad to see your major, but that's not a factor at all in my decision. So please make sure if you're interested in one of our more competitive programs like nursing or education, you're aware of the secondary admissions requirement, and I can help you with that as well. So if you're ready to join us, we do admit transfers fall, spring, and summer. Our spring deadline is coming up. That will be December 1st, but we require just a few pieces of information. Your online application via Spartan Link, Common App, or CFNC, an application fee, official test scores not required. Don't think about that right now. We're test optional. And official transcripts from Wake Tech. If you have 24 or more hours from Wake Tech, we do not need your high school transcript. Though if you did take AP tests or IB tests in high school, please send those as well. and an essay is not required. Now, when it comes to that application fee, we do accept the NACAC transfer fee waiver, and we will be having a transfer information program virtually October 19th. You can sign up through Spartan Link. If you watch our live program, we'll talk to you about admissions, transfer credit, financial aid. You'll also have an option to break out into majors and learn more about those afterwards. If you watch our live program, fill out a survey on Tuesday, October 19th, you will receive a fee waiver. Okay, so just an option there as well. Deadlines. Transfer deadlines, December 1st for spring. Priority is March 1st for fall. Final July 15th. The reason why I have the freshman first year deadlines up here as well is some of you may be dually enrolled. If you're dually enrolled, please do apply as a first year student, okay? That doesn't mean you're not going to receive all the transfer credit you've earned, but we review your application based on first year requirements since you're technically still in high school. This is me. I'm Melissa, and I am your contact at Wake Tech, and I'm glad to help you. There are numerous ways you can get a hold of me. That is my phone number. That is my email. That is my text. I did a virtual table at Wake Tech last month. I'll be back next month. And also on our admissions website, you can schedule virtual one-on-one Zooms with me. I am glad to meet with you at any point in your process. It's never too early to reach out because I'm glad to help you in planning. I tell students I'll work with them for years until they get to UNCG because I really enjoy getting students transferred as smoothly and effectively for them as possible. So, and once again, before I wrap up, nothing replaces the campus visit. Our transfer program on October 19th is virtual, but we will be hosting 2 open houses this fall, and transfer students are more than welcome. They will be Saturday, October 23rd and Saturday, November 6th. So you've got those options to visit campus. Plus, we do give daily campus tours and also campus tours in Spanish. Those are smaller groups, so please sign up via our website. But our campus is open and ready for you to visit as well. Thanks again for your time, and I'll be glad to take questions.
Thank you, Melissa. This has been very informative. Does anybody have any questions? Please just feel free to add them to the chat. I don't know that I see any yet, but we'll give it a minute or two.
Sure. I'm sure there's something I didn't cover.
Well, I'm sure that your presentation and you are so welcoming that if they do have questions, they'll reach out.
I hope so. I really enjoy working with students.
All right, it looks like we had one question come through in the chat, and this student wants to know, so she was planning on finishing her bachelor's in accounting at UNCG, but she's now thinking of switching over to computer science or cybersecurity. Her question is, can you help me to understand if there is a possibility that I could do my bachelor's there? I currently have 40+ credits.
Okay. Yes, we can help you figure that out. It all depends. Accounting is offered online or on campus. Computer science is offered on campus, as well as cybersecurity. But what I can do that the best way for me to handle that is if you would like to schedule a one-on-one Zoom with me, you could share your screen or your unofficial transcript and I can take a look at your coursework. Computer science is very, very heavy in math and the sciences, so it will be a little bit different from accounting and cybersecurity, which are business degrees, which still require math, but not quite the higher level. So we can kind of help you figure out what would be left and give you your options as well. And I will say once students are admitted to UNC Greensboro, we have what's called a degree evaluation tool. You're emailed when your transfer credit is posted, and you can generate a degree evaluation with the major you listed on your application, but you can also generate a what-if scenario. So if you put down accounting, you can see how all your credit applies, but you can also do a what-if scenario for computer science. So you can see how different that plan would be should you switch that. But yes, I work with students all the time trying to help them figure out how their credits will transfer and mesh with each major. and I'd be glad to do that with this particular student.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Any more questions out there?
Now, Melissa, I do have one that may be a good question for many of our students. And when students apply, how do you calculate their GPA? Are you just looking at the cumulative GPA that's already calculated on their Wake Tech transcript, or do you all do something different to get their GPA for admissions purposes?
Great question. When we calculate with transferable coursework. So what we're looking at is we're looking at an overall and transferable GPA, but mainly the transferable GPA. So say you started out in a welding program. Those are not transferable coursework. So I will not count those toward your 24 hours in the GPA that I am calculating for admission to the university. Now, let's hope you didn't fail all your welding courses, because if that pulls your GPA below a 2.0, I kind of need to look at that. But I'm going to primarily look at the college transfer coursework. In addition, if you've been to another school prior, we average out everything that so say you went to, I don't know, say you went to another four-year school and then Wake Tech. We do require all transcripts from all college institutions because we will take all that work into account. Now, that being said, let me also offer this as well. We understand that sometimes students have not the most direct journey to a four-year school. Things happen. Pandemics happen. Life happens in general. So say you went to a school right out of high school, a college right out of high school, and you just didn't do well at all. But then you went to Wake Tech and you showed much improved grades and everything's on an upward trend. If you're 21 or older, and your GPA is still not balancing out to 2.0, but your recent work is really, really solid, we do have that option to do what we call a non-traditional student interview. And in that process, what we do is we like to talk to students so we can see beyond the transcripts and beyond the piece of paper to kind of help make that determination. And I always tell students, if you've had ups and downs in your academic history, please take the time. We do have places on the application where you can share with us what's going on so we can have a good idea of why your path might have been a little bit bumpy and what's different now. But don't let a false start, we call that nicely many years ago, deter you from seeking out higher education as well, because you can get a great foundation at Wake Tech and we won't necessarily hold work many years ago against you.
Okay. I have one, looks like from a parent.
Okay.
It says, my son is really passionate on computer science. He's in the 10th grade and doing CTE courses in Wake Tech. So he's a dual enrolled student. I would like to know which CT pathway will be great for him. ASAE ? Should he be doing that for computer science?
Gotcha. Well, the AS path would probably be the best preparation for computer science. It's going to require Calculus 1, Calculus 2, and a third math, as well as a 2 science course sequence, be it biology, chemistry, or physics. So the more your student can prepare in those particular areas, the better. Math is usually the kicker for computer science. So the more preparation there, the better. But yes, the standard AS path, that would be a very solid path. UNCG does not have specific engineering majors, so the AS would be what I would recommend.
Okay, thanks. Another question. I'm thinking about doing special education, and I was wondering that UNCG will do internships at junior or senior year or after I finish my degree or master's.
Okay, special education. Yes, that is one of those that has that secondary admissions process. So you'll always want to come to UNCG. You have to have a 3.0 GPA to get into our School of Ed, as well as some prerequisite courses. So sometimes I encourage students to transfer in the spring. You can still finish your degree at Wake Tech through reverse transfer, as it helps you get into that School of Education sequence because our students have thousands of hours in the classroom, and they also are required to student teach a semester. So you're going to have that experience at the time that you graduate. So it's not necessarily a set internship, but it's a required semester of student teaching plus many, many hours of classroom observation. But I encourage students interested in the School of Ed, the School of Nursing, School of Social Work, if they can seek us out, those are a little bit, take a little bit more prior planning, and we can help you do that.
Great. So one more question. I plan to pursue a public health major, and I understand there are general ed prereqs
Yes.
the program requires before transferring. If there's a prereq not offered at Wake Tech, will that affect my admission into the program?
No, great question. There is no longer a secondary admissions process to the public health major. They do recommend students have an associate in arts or an associate in science, and within that have certain a certain biology, psychology, CIS 110, public health. I'm not aware of any prerequisites that would not be offered at Wake Tech, but if you're missing a course or two, you can still apply to UNCG and get admission to the university. Take what you need. There are certain public health electives you can still take. You just couldn't start in the coursework in your major until you satisfy all those requirements, but it doesn't block you from moving on at UNCG as a general student first.
Okay. Any more questions? Let's see any new ones.
Melissa, I have a question for you. So many of the students, many of our students are adult, learners. They maybe have a full-time job, a lot of other responsibilities. So as a transfer student, can you enroll part-time, or do you have a lot of courses that you offer in the afternoons and evenings or even online?
Yes, we expanded greatly our online majors. We have many working adults. The bachelor's in liberal and integrated studies is definitely a possibility. We added a new concentration there in psychology, which is very popular. Right now, peace and conflict studies is entirely online. That's popular. A bachelor, the BIPS program, BIPS, Bachelor's in Integrated Professional Studies, is the a general degree for working adults, where your general ed, hopefully you would do at Wake Tech, but your major courses can be condensed. So there are many options for online learners at UNCG, and you do not have to take a full-time load. I do caution that, if you're on financial aid, there are some stipulations about progress and such, so you'd want to keep that in mind. But as long as you're taking one course, you're our student, and it's only if you stop out for a full year, 2 consecutive semesters, that you would need to reapply. So I work with students a lot, adult students, quite a bit, and we have, like I said, public health is online. At least 4 or 5 majors in our Bryan School are online. So there's some wonderful online options, and they're asynchronous because we understand people are working, people are living in different time zones that take these courses. And there's also a lot of support at UNCG. And I do encourage adult students tend to be a little bit hesitant to reach out for it, but we have a math help center, a writing center, a speaking center. And, during this pandemic, I had a hard time with 4th grade math. If it's been a little bit of time since you've taken it, reach out and use those resources, because we are all cheering for you to graduate as a Spartan. So use the resources that we have to help you move forward.
Okay, great. We actually are going to have a survey that is available. It's in the Q&A chat box. Are we going to be putting that up on the screen, or?
Yes, so the link is right there in the Q&A chat box. So for those of you that did attend today, we would greatly appreciate if you could fill out this survey for us just to give us some feedback and let us know your thoughts about the event. And if you do complete it, you will be entered in for a chance to win a $25 gift card.
Ooh, that's motivation, huh?
Yep. Okay, looks like we actually have one other question come through.
Okay. If we apply for the fall semester but are still missing some credits to finish the associate's degree, are we allowed to finish those during the summer if we need to? If so, will we need to send another transcript before starting at UNCG in the fall semester?
Yes, yes to both. Many students apply with courses in progress, and that is just fine. Go ahead and apply, send the transcript you have. And you will be advised, though, and register late April, early May for your fall courses at UNCG. I recommend that you let your UNCG advisor know that you plan to graduate from Wake Tech, so that helps with the advising scenario. But definitely send that final transcript. Give it a little time for Wake Tech to post that degree, and send it to us with the degree posted, because I said that entitles you to the block waiver of your general ed courses, and that's so important. And sometimes students are so excited to send us their final grades, they don't wait till that degree is on there. And I do email and say, hey, it looks like you've earned a degree. Would you please send us another transcript? So you are fine to apply early. You will need to send a second transcript when the degree is posted at the end of the summer.
Great. Any more questions? Well, everybody participating, please remember to do the survey. And Melissa, thank you so much. This has been very informative. And we will have the recording available later if people want to reference it. But Melissa is your go-to. So write down her contact information and reach out to her for any further questions.
Thank you all so much for hosting this. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Melissa. All right, so for those of you still listening in, we have a little bit of time before our 10 o'clock session starts. So please make sure you visit extra.waketech.edu for our 10 o'clock session with Campbell University. There will be a link where you can join that session starting at 10 a.m. Thank you, everyone.